The next honoree is another saint. Jared Schulick is a member of the Southview High School graduating class of 2004. While at Southview, Jared's activities were numerous. Jared was valedictorian of the class, president of National Honor Society, class vice president, JROTC battalion commander, varsity soccer captain, Lorain Sports Hall of Fame J. Ed Uland Award winner, Model United Nations member, as well as a member of the varsity football and track programs. When asked of his special memories of Southview, Jared responded that during his sophomore year, he had trigonometry with Miss Stacy Vlor. He credits her for sparking the realization that math could be useful. Following that class at Southview, as well as the United States Naval Academy, Jared says math became his go-to subject. After 4 years at the Naval Academy, Jared was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Navy. He continued his education, receiving his Navy aviator wings in 2011. He continued graduating from Air Force Test Pilot School and earning a Master of Science in Flight Engineering from the USAF Air University. Jared flew combat flights in support of Operation Enduring Freedom over Afghanistan from 2012 to 2015. While in test pilot school, Jared conducted a capstone test project flying an F-16D alongside a C-12J with experimental shortwave infrared targeting pod, the very first airborne side-by-side test comparison of various targeting pods. Jared has also served as a developmental test pilot at China Lake, California. As the electronic warfare subject matter expert, Jared served in Iwakuni, Japan as a department head of the Strike Squadron Force 115, and he is currently stationed as a future capability officer, U.S. Indo-PACOM, and the military has more acronyms than education. He has been selected for operational commander at Sea Strike Fighter Squadron 136. Jared was named VFA 136 Pilot of the Year in 2014. Jared and his wife, Jamie, and their 2 daughters are stationed in Hawaii. Please welcome Jared Schulick to the Lorain Alumni Association Distinguished Hall of Fame. And here to accept is his brother, Justin.
Hello everyone, good morning. I'm Lieutenant Commander Jared Schulick, and I'd like to start by saying I very much appreciate and thank you for the honor of the representation in Lorain City Schools Hall of Fame. I appreciate my brother and say thank you to him for representing me there in my place. And I'd like to take a few minutes and talk about my time in Lorain City Schools and subsequent time after in the United States Navy. While in Lorain City Schools, I was privileged to be able to participate in sports such as football, soccer, and track that definitely provide the opportunity for both physical and mental fitness, as well as building teamwork skills that have paid dividends throughout my time in high school and my career. Programs in Lorain City Schools are definitely beneficial to students and were beneficial to me. Things such as Mr. Doug White's Model United Nations, the opportunity to think of global politics at the high school level, and then to think of those politics not only from the perspective as an American, but to put yourself in the shoes of someone from another country, make that definitely a wonderful program, and it's great for students' development. Programs such as the Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps, or JROTC, are wonderful for students' development. The opportunity to have the early opportunities to lead, as well as early opportunities to fail, to become a better leader throughout that process, are great for student development. After high school, I was privileged to attend the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, where I studied in ocean engineering. So the mathematics lessons that I got from Miss Vlor, Miss Heberling, definitely paid dividends in my career as an ocean engineer. Afterwards, I attended flight school to become an FA-18 combat pilot, flying missions in Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Inherent Resolve over the skies of Afghanistan and Iraq. Subsequently, I attended the United States Air Force Test Pilot School in Edwards Air Force Base, California, where I was able to test F-18 future weapons and software systems. Afterwards, I was a forward-deployed Naval Forces pilot serving in Iwakuni, Japan. Currently, I'm serving as a requirements officer for the United States Indo-Pacific Command here in beautiful, scenic, and historic Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. My next tour is going to be the executive officer and commanding officer of VFA 136 in Lemoore, California. I'd also like to thank my parents, Richard and Cheryl, and all my family in Ohio for the support I received while I was in Lorain. It was definitely key for building the building blocks of a positive environment for success. I'd like to give a little shout out to a few teachers that were definitely important to me as I grew up. Notably Mr. Cawthon, Ms. Vore, Mr. White, Mr. Wood, Ms. Heberling, Ms. Plastolka, Mrs. Turlick, Major Brown, First Sergeant Obici, Mr. Jaworski, Mr. Bogan, and Mr. Carl Cicerella. Those teachers provided me wonderful, valuable education. I'll certainly never forget it. Additionally, while in high school, thinking it's very important that some of our friends had mutual concerns for goals and success that set the framework for success in life. Notably, some of those friends from the Magna Math Science program, Evie, Dwayne, Monica, Liz, Brittany, Tom, Luther, Sean, David. I definitely appreciate all the good times that we had then, and I'm glad we all saw ourselves to a better future. Lastly, my beautiful and intelligent wife, Jamie, thank you for all your love and support. I couldn't have done anything that I've done since having met you. Lastly, my beautiful daughters, Quinn and Sloan. I look forward to the rest of our lives growing up together and seeing through for your education as well. Again, thank you for the honor and privilege to be selected to the Hall of Fame for Lorain City Schools. I definitely appreciate it, and I'm certainly honored to be representing. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of my brother, I'd like to thank everyone here for this, and thank the committee for this acknowledgement. For him, it was all going to school was always a pleasure, and working with for him working doing things like working the national festival. And performing the JRTC meets was really like one of his were something he really appreciated in doing for the school and being with everyone for it. Thank you.